Hi, I'm Paul Dayton. Thanks for joining me. My website's pauldayton.us. Here I'm going to today give you a book review on this book. It's called China, Alive in the Bitter Sea by Fox Butterfield. This is a book that I first learned about watching a rerun of the old Bill Buckley show, which you can find at thehoover.org. And he had the author on, and Buckley introduced the author and referred to this book as a masterpiece, which is high praise. Uh, and the author was very impressive during his time on the show. And so I put this on the list and eventually came across it. And I must concur with that assessment. This book, what makes a masterpiece of a history book, for me, there are two sort of main criteria. One is to take events of the past, particularly things that are sort of if you're in the time of automobiles and airplanes, to take people back to a time of, before automobiles on horseback and things like that, and make it palatable to a future audience is very difficult. Another thing to do is to make you feel like you were there. And the third thing, to make you feel like you were there and to make events of the past relevant to today. This is a book that makes you feel like you were there, that really brings you into a world that, I mean, even if you were in, say, what you call a first world country, this fellow Fox Butterfield was in China for a couple of years in the late 1970s. So Mao was dead, Deng had taken over. They had not really started to splice in some incentives for personal gain yet. Things are still very tightly controlled. I mean, it truly is the tight grip of the beast, which I referred to in my second book, Socialism, the Gift That Keeps on Taking. Still, they gave all the power to the central planners in the name of uplifting the masses. So that's what we call socialism, communism, wokerism. It's all the same. Anything that concentrates the power into the hands of the few by decree in the name of uplifting the masses. Truly, the people who crave this spit the bit of liberty and crave the shackles of slavery, so that other people can tell you how much you may or may not earn. They call it universal basic income, or equality of incomes. They tell you where you may or may not live, how much grain and food you may or may not have. And if they break their promise, there's nothing you can do about it. I mean, this truly is China during the second half of the 20th century, truly is a tremendous example of the reality of that situation. Butterfield is firsthand in there with these people. He tells people who were firsthand witnesses of things that happened when Mao took over in the early 50s, what's called the Cultural Revolution in the 60s, the terror, all these episodes, firsthand knowledge of it, people whose lives were squandered, the people in China lived in such fear. Every phone line was tapped. And the thing is, in the USA, they say, well, the CIA was listening to phone calls too, but the consequences were more direct and more severe. They come take you away. Ordinary people, every day, just gone. They know where you live because everything is assigned from HQ. They control. They can send you from, to make an analogy in the United States, they can send you from the East Coast to the Northwest without your consent in the middle of the night because they said so. Separate you from your family. It happened all the time. And so this book is really good. And this particular edition has a codicil added on to right after I would say it's around 1990, after the incident with the tank, what's that called, Tiananmen Square. So it has, and again, things, it's just an update as well. But really, the meat of the book is a firsthand account of an American reporter who tells you himself, he calls himself whatever word he uses, liberal, lefty, it was before the time of Woker. But he was one of those, and he went there and he saw the reality of the consequences of the empty promises, the unfulfilled promises. And truly, what happens, again, what I teach in my second book, is when the beast becomes unshackled. So you have to responsible people shackles the government so that the people may be free. And when the government, the giant King Kong, becomes unshackled, rips that shackle from the wall, and now it's free. And now the role of master and servant are inverted, right? The beast no longer serves the people serve the beast. And that is, this book chronicles that very well. So again, the name of the book is China, Alive in the Bitter Sea. The author is Fox Butterfield. I recommend it highly. My name is Paul Dayton. My website's pauldayton.us, and I hope you have a great day. Thank you so much.